It's your girl T here, back with the Sunday Vidya. I know you guys are having a beautiful, blessed day because it's just what we do. Our affirmation of today is all my blessings are showing up today. All of our blessings are showing up today. We're tea timers. All of our blessings are constantly showing up for us. I wanted to do a quick video on erasing mistakes from our past, embarrassing events that happened, things that we wish we didn't say. Anything in our past that really triggers us in a negative way, is it possible to revise those memories and the events that happen from those memories? Of course it is. We are limitless. So of course we're able to revise situations that happened previously. What do I mean by this? So in our subconscious, we hold memories. Memory is just a thought thunk over and over. You know, when you do something embarrassing and you replay it over and over in our head, over and over and over, sometimes you'll replay it the way you wish it had happened, but most of the time you just replay the trauma of it and the pain of it over and over, re-hurting yourself. What you're doing is imprinting it into your subconscious. You're telling your subconscious, this is the way that it went. There's no changing it. This is exactly how it went. So give me all the repercussions from it. Revision cuts into that. What it does is it changes the memory in our brain so that the events that trickled off of that memory or that trauma or that pain, they flow in a different way. So it changes it in a good way. Let's say, for example, we said something to someone that we absolutely didn't want to say, and we're traumatized by it. All these feelings within us are like, that was so embarrassing. You think of all the things that are going to happen because of what you said, and they play out exactly the way that you thought that they would. If you were revising that situation, what you would do is you would look, when you think of that memory in your mind of what you said to the person, you would hear what you actually wanted to say to the person as opposed to what you actually did say, and you would do it over and over every time the memory came up, until with revision, what typically happens in my case is when you go back to that memory, it's hard for your brain to go towards the memory the way it was as opposed to the way that you changed it to. It becomes fuzzy, and you actually believe, you know, consciously that it happened the original way, but you start to believe that it did happen the way that you revised it to, and that is revision. And then either the person will forget about it, or you'll ask around about it. Nobody knows what you're talking about, and it will change, like the butterfly effect, if you've ever seen that movie, things that trickled from the original statement. You can do this with anything. You can say, like in Sammy Ingram's videos, she always says revision statements. She's really good at making up revision statements, such as, I've always been rich. I've always revises what you previously were in the past. And once your subconscious takes a hold of things like I've always been rich, you will see things come up that prove to you that you've always been rich. If we're creating from the present moment, like I've done a couple videos on now, presently here, and we have no past and our future is to be written, then from here forward, you're telling your subconscious, I've always been rich. I've always been successful. I've always had money. I've always had a amazing partner. I've always been good at relationships. This is how we build our beliefs. We revise from what we previously had in the past, and moving forward, this is our new story. Revision is super powerful. It's a technique first coined, I'm sure it's been around forever, but it's something that Neville Goddard brought to light. And he makes a lot of statements saying, if you could just put as much effort into what you want things to be as opposed to what they were, you would see your life unfold in a miraculous way. It is very true. We're already replaying these negative memories in our mind. Without revision, we might as well revise them to what we want them to be so that it's going to unfold in our favor. You can do this with anything in your life. Get creative with it. If you look at your bank balance and it's at a balance that you don't like, imagine the balance that you want to see every time you open up your app on your phone or every time you go to the ATM. Look at it and say, and in your mind, see a visual of like, oh, good, I have $10,000 in my bank account. Oh my God, look at my balance is always at $20,000. That's amazing. We want to naturalize the feeling of being in situations that we enjoy. If we embarrass ourselves every time the memory pops up in our head, think of the memory the way that you wished it had been as opposed to what actually happened. I just used this about 5 days ago. An incident took place where I didn't, like I said, I don't like to, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to reaffirm what the original thing that happened was, but I made a mistake with something at work, and I just kept seeing it as it wasn't a mistake, that it was actually perfect, and it disappeared. I'm not saying this as a woo-woo. It's scientifically proven that memories can be altered. It's actually a fact that they've done research on how you remember things within even 6 months from what actually happened is completely altered from what actually happened. They've scientifically researched this, and they have said that the way people remember things is up to 20% accurate as opposed to what actually happened. The colors are different. The event surrounding it is different. What people said to us is different. We also have to remember the way we remember events is from our perception. So if you're thinking of something in a total embarrassing manner, it's going to mirror back to you that embarrassment that you think actually took place at what it is that you thought happened. But if you look at it from a different perspective, like I wasn't embarrassed, it actually was super successful, and this is the way it went, and make a 10-second or even a 5-second clip to replace what originally happened, you're going to see your revision unfold in a way that's amazing. And you're going to see that all of those things you thought would happen in the moment, you revised it, it's going to either disappear or it's going to bring a positive outcome. Revision is such a powerful technique. I'll go over it again. Something happens that you don't like, or something is really holding you back from the past. Like, let's say your weight. You feel like you've always been fat. You've heard people say this. Oh, I've always had a slow metabolism. I've always been fat. How many times a day you think they say that? Probably hundreds. They're reaffirming that they've always had a slow metabolism. They've always been fat. And you'll see their weight go up and up and up because that's the story they have playing in their head. That person, if they were going to revise what they had been used to saying about their weight, would say, I've always been thin. I've always been healthy. I've always shed weight quickly. If you said that for 3 days solid and didn't deter from your story, and every time you thought of yourself in your head, you thought of yourself as a healthy person, I guarantee weight would slip off of you. And I guarantee you would find yourself in a healthy way in no time. I can't say it would happen in 3 days, but I would think that you would, once the thought had solidified in your head and your subconscious had accepted it, you would see weight start to fall off and you would see drastic changes within your body. Our thoughts are so powerful. Revision is so powerful. This is a beautiful way to erase things from your past that you don't want to see anymore. And revising on the spot is absolutely the most powerful way to get what you want, hands down. That means when something happens that you don't like in your 3D, you revise it right there. You change it to what you want it to happen. I think within the first half an hour, they say, if you revise, that memory will not suppress. That memory will not solidify in your subconscious. So if something happens and you have the gumption to revise on the spot, do it right there. And then every time you think of that memory, think of it in the way that you wanted it to go. You'll see how quickly you'll get results from this. It is freaking amazing. I've used this so many times. Try it, see how it goes, come back, post your stories. We're all here to support each other, and I love y'all. But not as much as you should be loving yourselves. Have a beautiful, blessed Sunday. I will talk to you soon. Bye.